Hello, friends. This is Kirti Bakshi here, and I welcome you all to the Metaphor Therapy workshop. It'll be a great moment for me to introduce to you all metaphor therapy. So, what is metaphor therapy? How is it different from other therapies? What is included in the workshop that we are going to be offering to you from the 19th of July onwards, and what all it entails? I will be sharing all the details with you. But before that, let me introduce myself. So, I'm Kirti Bakshi. I'm a psychotherapist and a trainer, backed by 25 years of experience in this field. I started off as a psychotherapist, and then I went on to do hypnotherapy, cognitive behavior therapy, rational emotive behavior therapy, behavior theater, family constellations, and all the other modalities that were fitting in with my work. I trained in hypnotherapy for 12 long years, and it was during that time that I realized that there was a need for a more holistic approach, which was entailing diagnostic, development, and closure techniques all into one modality. And that set me on to the search. And my search ended at metaphor therapy when I saw it being used in a school with the Rudolf Steiner Institute, as well as I saw it being used widely with the teachers who were trying to understand their students best. It was then that I realized that it actually belongs to anthroposophy, and there's so much relationship that the nature has with us that a mere nature drawing could tell you so much about the child, about the client, about whomever you are dealing with. So that put me on an intrigue, and I joined a company where I was the head of the psychology research department, and I started researching over there. And what I found was that this whole art of drawing analysis was just a small part of the bigger domain, metaphor therapy. And metaphor therapy is belonging to the Jungian school of psychology. So we have broadly two schools of psychology, the Freudian school and the Jungian school. The Jungian school is called as a projective school of psychology, and that's where metaphor belongs. So while I was going through all the literature by Carl Jung, who's the father of the projective psychology school, there was one statement in his book called The Man and His Symbols that actually hit me. And that statement was that the subconscious mind stores information in the form of images. Wouldn't it then be better to go by the client's image rather than what they say? Because whenever they are narrating something, there can be a cognitive bias or they can hold back at certain points. But what if we go by the metaphors they show us? They will become very, very revolutionizing in understanding the client, the depth and the dimension of the client's narrative. And that is what led me to research further and furthermore. And while I was training in hypnotherapy, I also started doing metaphor therapy along with my clients. The results were phenomenal. And I soon had people who wanted to learn it. And I formed a batch and I started teaching three types of metaphors: the visual metaphor, the verbal metaphor, and the imaginary metaphor. I've never turned to look back since then, and it's been nearly 18 years that I've been training in metaphor therapy. The trademark is registered with me, and I keep on developing the curriculum. I have developed it to a great extent now. We have a 5,000 strong database of students who have done metaphor in India, Dubai, Hong Kong, and internationally. They all are using this modality and have got profound results. And the way they work, their therapies have become sharper, their diagnostic skills are better, their processing skills are another level. And the best part is they're getting wonderful closures. And through those closures, they are able to do very impactful sessions. So that's what led me on. That's what brought it here. And that's where I am here today offering it to all of you. So I'm going to be sharing a small PPT with you in details of metaphor therapy. Let's just go through it and you will get all the details over there. And if you need more details, you can always feel free to call us. Let us now just take this small PowerPoint presentation, which I promise will not be long, but I just need you to be there with me, hear it out, and note down the questions as they come to your mind, and we can always talk about them. Right? So I'm sharing my PPT with you all now. Just give me a moment and we'll be here right now. Yes, here we are. So, friends, this is Metaphor Therapy. It's a workshop by the counseling company. I head the counseling company that was founded 30 years ago, came in action 25 years ago, and we have been offering profound teachings through the counseling company as well as one on one sessions. So, I have a clinic in Thakur Village, Mumbai, where I operate out of. I do 2 to 3 clients a day and I do my trainings during the weekend. Apart from metaphor therapy, there are many other trainings that I do that I will be listing it down here. So, metaphor therapy, in order to understand the positioning of metaphor therapy, let us understand the mental health broad categories. So, the mental health broad categories, there's a very organized sector where you have the psychiatrist, the counseling psychologist, the clinical psychologist, and the psychotherapist. Yet there is an unorganized sector where we have the healers, crystal, angel, theta, reiki, pranic, and chakras. Then we have the therapist community, which is the hypnotherapist, past life regression therapist, family constellation therapist, cognitive behavior therapist, and client centered therapist and psychoanalyst. Apart from that, the new emerging sector that's really coming up very well now is the coaches. And in the coaches, we have life coach, corporate coach, relationship coach, personal excellence coach, holistic coach, spiritual coach, and NLP coach. Now, this coaching segment is fast emerging for those who have actually missed taking an entry to the organized sector. However, you can also call yourself a healer if you are aligned to the energy modalities. You can call yourself a therapist if you are rooting yourself through hypnotherapy. A holistic coach would be practicing all of this. So when I conduct a workshop, I have with me psychiatrists who take the workshop. I have people from the organized sector like the counseling psychologists, clinical psychologists. I have healers who come in to learn. I have therapists who come in to learn, and I have coaches who come in to learn. So metaphor therapy, because it has three elements. It has a sharp diagnostic element, a sharp development and healing element, and a sharp closer element. It will fit into all the categories. No matter which route you take, metaphor therapy comes right in the center and meets you right in the center for you to be able to do profoundly transformative work. Let's go to the next slide, which is again explaining to you what is metaphor therapy. Again, I'm reiterating Carl Jung's statement here, where he says the subconscious mind stores information in forms of images, and these images continuously give out charge that impacts our decisions, behaviors, and personalities. These images of the subconscious are known as metaphors. People present to you metaphors through their drawings, through their conversations. When people are talking, they will be using metaphors. For example, a client might come and tell you that my life is like a roller coaster ride. Now, the roller coaster here is the metaphor. Instead of asking them more about the life, if we were to ask them more about the roller coaster, we would have access to a more detailed version of the client's narrative. So, how do you develop these verbal metaphors? How do you process them? How do you take them to a development stage and then substitute the metaphor for a functional metaphor? Forms the basis of the verbal metaphor. Metaphor therapy will aim to bring all these aspects of the three metaphors together for you all. So here's a detailed, elaborate explanation of what you will learn. You will be learning drawing analysis and color psychology in the visual metaphor. You will be learning verbal metaphor and imaginary metaphors. In the imaginary metaphor, you will be learning a technique called the bridge across, which is hugely representational of the subconscious progression of the client. So you will be learning progressive technique also. You will be learning letting go of the past metaphor. Trauma release is a very, very important part of metaphor. Let's say, you're talking to a client or you're looking at a drawing which says that the client has stored trauma. How are you going to release that trauma is a part of this workshop. Then you're going to learn acceptance and commitment therapy using metaphors. Like, there's the psychology field or the therapeutic domains are quickly changing and rapidly. Actually, they are embracing new modalities. So positive psychology and acceptance and commitment therapy is a new modality, and we will be teaching you how to do acceptance and commitment therapy used by the use of metaphors, which will have 6 core principles, which will have 6 core techniques dedicated to each principle. You will be learning blob trees, 6 steps of ACT therapy, and career choosing using metaphor. By and large, if the drawing of the client shows you anxiety, or it shows you sad spells, or it shows you a relationship issue, or it shows you an unsettled family, or it shows you career problems, or it shows you learning issues, or it shows you something to do with the client's overall fluctuating state of mind, their knowledge level, access to knowledge level, all this is what the drawing will reveal. But how are you going to work with them? You're going to learn it in the verbal metaphor, the imaginary metaphor, and the closure techniques. So this will be very comprehensive in terms of dealing with each and every type of client. Let's go on to the next slide. So people often ask me that, I learned a course before, but I have not used it, I have forgotten it. So what support will you get once you become a part of the Metaphor community? So we have a strong community which is practicing every day, and they are practicing on WhatsApp. They get together once in a while on a Zoom meet and they practice together. So you will get a WhatsApp group support for practicing for 1 month, where I will be personally guiding each one of you. Whatever drawings are put up, we will analyze those. We will find out what is the area of work with this client, and then we will be telling you what techniques from the kitty of techniques that you have learned you can apply here. There are practice groups, and there will be guidance to take your counseling and coaching career forward. Very often, we know that my voice matters, my say matters. People come to me with problems. I have this knack, where people are coming to me and are taking my advice. Let's put a design to that. How do you put a design? Is by doing relevant workshops, relevant courses. Courses is what will give you a design to your already existing skills. If you are that magnet that's drawing people in terms of distress, it's high time you just organize your skills better, you organize your abilities better, and you take your work forward. And that's where we will be helping you a lot. This will also help you to sharpen your diagnostic, development, and closure techniques. So now, whenever a client comes to us for a 1 hour, 1.5 hour session, every session necessarily goes through 3 steps: the diagnostic, the development, and the closure techniques. So we are going to be teaching you everything, because the closure is very important. When the client goes back home, they should have sufficient insights, and they should have closed an issue or closed something that they were looking reasons to. And that's where metaphor therapy is very, very effective and very useful. You're going to get hands-on practice of each process and ability to make your sessions more impactful. So it's not only a pre-recorded session. I don't have anything pre-recorded in this workshop. Everything is live. So I'm not going to give you a link and ask you to do it at your own pace and then come back for questions. No, it's not a pre-recorded session at all. Every session is a live session. Every technique is where you will be paired with a partner whom you will work with. Then we will take feedbacks of how to refine it further. So every technique you will be practicing. You're going to learn different therapy techniques for different client concerns. Overall, this is going to add to the confidence that you have. Even if you are already in the field, this is going to be amazing in terms of adding confidence. Very often, even as professionals, we always feel, I think I could have done something better in this session. Oh, I think I could have taken it this way. Or I think I could have, when we review our sessions, we feel that we could have done something better. With learning of this technique, you will be actually being so confident because you are flowing along a design. You're not doing it by the gut. You're doing it, and it's not that some of your sessions will be good and some of your sessions will need work. And overall excellence in all your sessions is what you're going to get. You're also going to be more motivated to establish yourself as a holistic coach or counselor. whereby you will be having much more to offer in terms of modalities. Sometimes people come to us for the third or the fourth session and we are repeating ourselves because we don't know what else to do. It becomes predictable, it becomes repetitive. And that's exactly where the client also starts feeling that there's nothing much to offer. So that's not what happens in metaphor therapy. Every session is a capsule session and is deeply, deeply insightful. And every time the client comes back to you, you will have something new to do because you're going to learn four diagnostics, six development, and six closure techniques. It will also help you to understand other modalities very well. Which are the other modalities? Like if you want to understand your NLP, you want to understand the basis of your hypnotherapy, you want to learn the use of, and every modality is using metaphors. It's the very basis of all projective work. So it will help you gain deep insights into this work. In fact, even when I do my family constellation sessions, metaphors help me so much in understanding my family constellation sessions and trainings. And above all, you will be able to script your own therapy scripts. So you will have something exclusive that will be with you. Apart from this, the other trainings that I often do are NLP practitioner and master level. Just finished 2 batches last month. Hypnotherapy and past life regression complete course. I do that twice a year. Child psychology and play therapy for those who specifically want to work with children. Basic and advanced psychology, professional career guidance program, family and systemic constellation facilitator training, where I have already done 12 batches. I was the first batch in India to learn family constellation and hypnotherapy and metaphor therapy. So I go back a long way, guys. So, family and systemic constellation facilitator training, we have a batch coming up. Relationship magic, parenting reflection, self hypnosis, and personal transformation. This is what the counseling company keeps offering to you from time to time. We also have other panel trainers with us and they will be offering you different types of workshops. So once you join us, your growth is inevitable. And up till now, we have a very strong database of community, people who always are repeatedly joining. And one thing I must let you know, once you join a metaphor therapy course, and you probably miss one session. Number one, I will be providing you all the recordings. Number two, the next course you're allowed to join free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for it. Number three, between 12 to 1:30 every day, I take student calls. So if you are confused and you are stuck somewhere or you have a doubt and clarification, I'm there to mentor you. So it's not only a training with which we finish our association. Once you become a metaphor student, our association goes a long way. I have my students from 15 years old who still call me at times when they want to discuss a case or they want to know what else to do. So it's an association that goes a very, very long way. Let's now look at the costing, and this is actually the costing that is there in the industry. When you do a life coaching program, which is ICF certified, you pay 3,50,000. And that is the fact. You will be asking all life coaches around you who are ICF certified, they will tell you that. NLP coaching is 20,000 to 80,000 to 1,50,000 for the basic and master, practitioner and master level from good coaches. See, I'm not talking about the 9 rupees and 99 rupees and 999 rupees wala trainings because you know that they are only going to be upselling something to you. So this is authentic, solid base, powerful training delivered to you one on one. We take small batches from 6 to 8 students, max could be 10, and we actually mentor you personally. If I personally feel that you haven't got it, I will ask you to repeat before I certify you. So we are very, very conscious about the quality of the training that we deliver. We make sure that every student is at par when we issue a certificate. Then there is the basic and advanced counseling, which is normally 35,000. Metaphor therapy, we have priced it only at 45,000 for the basic and advanced version. However, this was our offline pricing when we were doing it in hotels. During lockdown, we brought it down significantly, and this is the charge here. So let's come to this point here. Offline cost was 45,000. Online is 35,000. Now, discounted cost for July 2025 batch is actually only 30,000 for both the levels. If you are going to be early bird before the 12th of July, it is 28,000 for both basic and advanced. It's all payable in installments. Special price only till 10th of July. That is if you enroll before 10th of July, because last moment calling up, it's something that we're not a marketing company and we are not upselling something else to you. We start with metaphor therapy and we'll only be selling metaphor therapy to you. So we are not upselling with, you know, a small incentive, then to a bigger, then to a bigger. This is how it is. It's simple, it's straight. So, and what you learn is going to be of value to you over a lifetime. It's a life skill that you're learning. We have been paying so much to our schools and colleges all this year, and that has enabled us, but has may not have provided us a career. Of course, it sharpens our intellect, it makes us more intelligent, it makes us more aware. But now is the time where you require a career and a direction. And that's what 25,000 is, what it's going to get you there. And you're going to use it for a lifetime. Like my students who did it 20 years before almost have full on clinical practices on basis of metaphor. They had no psychology background at all. They were just simple people who had an impactful language and words. They joined metaphor therapy and their journey started with metaphor therapy. Today, they have full fledged practices. So, for a lifetime of learning, you're going to be paying 25,000. You only have to pay 2,000 to register, and you have the number here. You can take the screenshot, or I will be sharing it on the group as well. It's payable in installments. You can block now for 2,000 only. So you can pay your entire 25,000 if you choose to do it before 12th of July. You can actually pay us 2,000, block your register your seat and pay the balance in installments, which we can work out for you. It would be great to have it all at once, of course. But if you are not able to do that, which we understand, then we will be happy to offer you the installments also at no extra cost. So this is what the details of metaphor therapy fee structure is. And if you are interested, you can get back to us on this number. And we have this as the admin number in the group. This is our Gmail and this is our website. You can have a look at that as well. So that's about it, friends. And I wanted to make it quick and short. So I've made it quick and short for you. Take your call, enroll today, and don't wait for tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. If you take an initiative, it's the first step forward in any career. We have to make the first move, and the rest will automatically unfold. I will be putting you in touch with my social media team also that handles my social media to see if you want to actually advertise your services as a holistic coach. How do you build yourself online? How do you build yourself on Instagram? How do you build yourself on Facebook? What kind of advertising you should do? I can put you in touch with my social media person who handles it and who's very well equipped with the field of psychology. From our end, you have all the support to a great career, and I hope to see most of you across. Thank you, friends, and see you soon. Bye bye.